I'm telling you guys, you just don't hate the government enough. There's plenty of reasons to not like the government. I mean, let's just say go into the DMV. Here where I live in my hometown, it's actually not too bad. You go in there and it was really fast because I made appointments and the whole bit. Um, that being said, I don't think I know anyone that would say the government is the most efficient use of their tax dollars, that the government is really good at what they do. They're just not. And here's a couple reasons why.
Administration's efforts to combat disinformation involved an effort to censor speech about the COVID virus and vaccine safety. But now we're learning it may have also impacted the EPA's efforts to inform the public about the 2023 East Palestine, Ohio train derailment. Rich McHugh has been breaking news on this story for the past week as recently released records have revealed that the Biden White House, FEMA, and the EPA knew there could be carcinogens in the air, but chose to stay quiet. Rich has the latest.
You think?
Hi, Elizabeth. Yeah, internal EPA documents, emails, show that an EPA official with ties to the DNC, the Biden and Harris campaigns, took over EPA's East Palestine messaging in the days following the derailment and burn, breaking protocol and against the objection of staffers. The question is why?
Well, why? It's because they blew up a whole frickin' rail car of vinyl chloride in situ on the tracks. They thought it was about to explode and all this and that. And they're like, okay, if we can burn it, then it'll be less of a contamination. But it wasn't necessary to do. They didn't know. They didn't give a shit. This was just egg on their face, and they wanted it over as fast as possible. Watch.
3 days after officials blew up 5 train cars full of vinyl chloride over East Palestine, the EPA declared the town safe for residents and allowed them back into their homes. EPA head Michael Regan doubled down on the messaging that East Palestine was safe.
If we say that the water is safe and the air is safe, we believe it because we've tested it and the data shows it.
But residents were getting sick, rashes, nosebleeds, respiratory issues.
At the time, the residents were very active on social media. They were not trusting what the government was telling them.
Because you shouldn't.
Rightfully so. And they were trusting their own bodies, which were...
There are so many relevant stories and historical facts to lean on to say the government is a bad actor in every aspect. They are a necessary evil. They don't have your best interest in mind. They have keeping government in power in mind.
We're really very sick and falling apart.
And now internal EPA emails obtained through the Freedom of Information Act show the national and local EPA offices disagreed over the message to send to residents. Quote, it appears the messaging they are using is that there are no detections of any issues, and people are not satisfied with that answer. Then emails show an EPA official from headquarters with ties to the DNC and the Biden campaign took over EPA's East Palestine messaging to, quote, combat the disinfo that's happening on social media.
Combat disinformation. No, it's combating any information that they deem inappropriate for their narrative shaping. This is what they want to be able to do. This isn't all about just keeping bad actors out of being able to dissuade people from making choices. This isn't about changing minds. This is about stopping the ability for people to even hear opposing information. That's all the government wants to do. They don't want to have an argument. All the government is allowed to do is put out a PSA, a public service announcement saying, we believe that the water and the air in East Palestine is safe and can be used. They do not have the right to stop someone else from disagreeing with their assumptions or from agreeing with those assumptions, period. They can put out any PSA they like saying, please disregard all these other opinions. Please listen to the United States government. That's all. They have speech to put out. So do I. So does everyone else. I don't have the right to stop anyone else's speech. And the First Amendment is specifically ingrained to stop government from stopping my speech. Because that's what governments like to do, is stomp on civil rights. This is what what the Biden administration was trying to do, is stomp on your civil rights, your ability to speak out against their shitty behavior. This is absolutely terrifying. If you can get if the government could kill an entire city with poisons and stop those people from speaking out against this terrible action and stop the rest of the nation from even hearing about it, what is there to stop government from doing anything?
Leslie Pacey, investigator with the Government Accountability Project, says
You don't hate the government enough.
this raises red flags.
This was early on in the response, and this broke protocol. They had not done this before. This is something that is new to the EPA, and there was some pushback internally over it.
It set off alarm bells within the agency. A director of communications at the EPA voiced strong concern that an official from headquarters with Biden ties was taking charge. The site is the responsibility of the region, and we are definitely breaking protocol by allowing anyone other than the PIO or on-scene folks to edit and modify these pages. I don't agree with this approach and the immediacy of the request. We know from our recent reporting that the White House was well aware of the health concerns in future cancer clusters, but publicly said the opposite.
They assured the public that they had done massive testing, that the air and the water was safe.
Some basic testing and testimonials from the companies. Oh, no, high vinyl chloride doesn't hurt you if you burn it this way, and everything happens to be exactly this way. But
safe, that they were monitoring things, and not to worry. Basically, they used the word safe. And we now know from the FEMA public records requests and the emails there that that was not the case at all. But now, in light of the FOIAs that we've
holy crap,
discovered with the EPA and FEMA,
all of this shit is already known. But most people don't know this stuff because most people don't have time to sit down and dig into these things. You know, I get it. I totally get it. There's just too much going on in people's lives for you to have to sit down and worry about what the government is doing all the frickin' time. That's why it's very important to just look at the leaders that you're going to pick. You can't look at the EPA all the time. You can't look at these people. You can't look at every damn thing that might affect you in a day. That's why the news has to be on it. That's why the news is supposed to be holding the government accountable. But when the government knows that the media is going to lie for them, and then they can just call the media and say, hey, lie for us. By the way, here's our public stance. And they're like, okay, we don't even want to listen to anything else. And if anyone says anything different, they're just crazy, kooky wackadoodles, probably Republicans.
In the White House and National Security Council, understanding the nature of the health impacts and the potential for cancer clusters, it really kind of raises more red flags. Was this part of the cover-up?
We spoke with a former EPA official who spent 4 decades in the EPA and says, on the one hand, this could be warranted because of the scope of the disaster. But on the other hand, because of the scope of the disaster, the EPA should have brought in health risk assessors, sampling experts, instead of a political spin doctor.
Yeah.
As for the EPA itself, we reached out to them. They have not responded.
I wonder why they haven't responded. It's because they're going to be held frickin' liable for every one of those people in East Palestine that got sick. Because Biden and his buddies, his administration decided, hey, this looks bad. Cover it up. Cover it up. What was his transportation director's name? The guy that adopted a baby and took 6 months off for paternal care, paternity leave, right? Took 6 months off. Who gives a shit? What's his stupid name? The gay guy that adopted a baby needed 6 months off of running the entire transportation division of the government. Their whole thing. Transportation secretary, dummy McDumbass. Totally dropped the ball on this. The Biden administration just starts lying through their teeth saying, you know what, this looks bad for us, so just lie. Just lie about it. We don't care. We're not going to be in power when everyone comes and sues the government for all the cancer that, and then with the government, what's government going to give to them anyways? Okay, we'll pay for your medical care, and we'll pay you, retail price for your home, and then you're going to get $50,000. That's it. The government doesn't do shit for people. Government doesn't make anything. It makes people dependent on government. That's it. If you disagree with me, you should like, share, and subscribe down, and let me know how I'm wrong. If you agree, you should share this with everybody. You should like the video. You should comment down below about how I'm right, because I love that positive affirmation. Keep it coming, people. I would give you some positive affirmation too if you're making this video. Come on. If you disagree with me, tell me how stupid I am down below in the comments, and I'll go down and I'll destroy you summarily. So like, share, subscribe. Have a beautiful day. Fall for more. See ya.